What I'm going to move into and have a conversation with you now is the recognition of a moment that you need to step into something that God allows to happen. So, in previous sessions, we've been talking about how Joseph, everything he did, God gave him authority, he increased his position, and the Lord was with him, and the Lord gave him prosperity and favor in everything that he did. It didn't matter that actually all of this time, Joseph was a slave. Not only was he a slave, now he was a prisoner. A prisoner has got to be the worst form of slavery, because at least if you're a slave and your master is telling you, go there, do that, you have some measure of purpose, you have some measure of being able to live in a household. If you're in prison, I mean, this is the ultimate confinement. You're a slave and you're in prison. But Joseph had the Lord with him. God caused him to prosper. He had favor. Watch what happens next. And he's in prison, and I want you to understand these words in chapter 40, verse 1 in Genesis. And it came to pass after these things that. So now, I'm not going to talk so much about that, but and we will in sessions to come, because that the butler and the baker of the king of Egypt offended their lord, the king of Egypt. So he has two guys, a butler and a baker, and they are serving at the highest level, the Pharaoh, the king of the land, and these guys offend him. But, so that's the event that happened. But I want you to see, it came to pass after these things, after everything that has transpired in Joseph's life, after these things, and it came to pass after these things, so, after these things, after all of these things, something is happening right now. Now, Joseph is in a place of authority in the prison. He is in a place, he is virtually running the prison on behalf of the prison keeper. So you will see in the story that is to come that these two guys come into the prison. That in itself is a big event, but not extraordinary in the sense that, you know, this was Pharaoh's prison. We got to talk about this previously. This was Pharaoh's prison. This was anybody that offended the Pharaoh, the king, anybody that was an enemy of the king, anybody that was somebody significant. So for Joseph to even be in Pharaoh's prison meant that this is the highest level of offenders in the country get to be in this prison. After all of these things, it came to pass after these things that means the events that are about to occur have a significant part to play in Joseph's life. There will come a time when you are going after the dream that God has given you, and it seems like you're in prison to circumstances. There are things that are holding you back, and it seems like you're going from one tight situation to another tight situation, and it doesn't seem like you can get, but suddenly the Lord is with you. You are prospering in your soul, in your life, everyday life that you're living around you. Certainly Joseph didn't have any grand opportunities that waited him, but after all of these things, something happened. A change occurred. The butler and the baker arrived directly from the king's presence, directly from the king's inner circle. These guys arrive, and they end up in the prison. They have dreams, and when we come back together, we're going to talk about this, but they both have dreams. And Joseph gets up one day and he sees that they are downcast and depressed because they have had dreams and there is no one to interpret the dreams. So what did Joseph have? He had a dream. What did he not know about exactly was what the interpretation of the dream meant for his life, other than He knew that he was going to be in authority over his father and mother and his brothers and sisters. It was the standard interpretation, but he didn't know how it was going to work out. But his answer to them was, is not all interpretations of all dreams, does it not belong to God? And when we come back next time, we'll talk about the interpretation of dreams being in the right place at the right time, even though it might seem wrong. I look forward to talking to you.